I'm gonna guess they don't recommend mixing your antifreeze in a Simply lemonade container because I'll be honest, it looks kind of appetizing.
All right, guys, thought we'd bring the tractor over here in the new pole barn, put her up on the lift, and, well, we may struggle putting her up on the lift. But we decided we wanted to do our oil change over here in the new garage. We got good lighting over here, nice fancy dirt floors to work on. So we are going to flush the coolant and change the oil, change the air filter, and then I'm going to check the axle fluid, make sure it's topped off, check my hydraulic fluid, make sure it's where it needs to be. Just kind of go over some things, probably grab the grease gun and grease some fittings and all that. Since we kind of washed the tractor up, this is about as clean as it ever gets. So we figured we'd take care of some of those things. We're coming up on the 400-hour mark, so it's time to knock some of those things out. To change the oil, when I open my hood, I have to press down on it and pull this lever back. We ran a Baldwin filter last time, and there was our last oil change info. We're up to 367. Drain plug on the bottom of the pan here. 14 millimeter. Pop that sucker loose. Let her drain. The correct oil filter for this tractor, if you're using Kubota parts, is an HH150 32430. I like to run Rotella oil. It's just what I like. They recommend 10W30 or 10W40 for these BX tractors, but their website also says you can run 1540, some other specs. That's what I'm running in at this time is 1540. You make your own choices there. That's one of those things that can open up all kinds of debates. Everybody's got their own theories. I'm not gonna sway you one way or the other. You probably don't care what I think, and I probably don't care what you think. We are down to nothing but a drip. So, snug her down. Don't over tighten that. There we go. If you want to run a Baldwin filter, this is a B1400. They changed the Kubota filter? I was running a Baldwin. This is a Kubota. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Tiny alternator. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? Hand snug is good enough. All right, this thing holds 3.3 quarts. All right, we should be about right. Now, this is one of those deals where because the filter goes on sideways, you can't pre-fill it really. So I'll fill it up about to what I need here. We'll fire it up, let the filter fill up, and then check it. Cap. Get your cap. Smell of diesel in the morning or the afternoon. Oops.
But not the evening.
Just lubing my coolant hoses there.
Fail. Oh, look at that. Man, it's almost like I've done this before. And that is how you change the oil on a Kubota BX23S. All right, next, we're gonna change our air filter. It has been, I think I changed it at 50 hours, so. Wow, that's embarrassing. Look at that. Oh, boys. Now you guys know what kind of a tractor maintainer I am. Wow. Sorry about that. Sorry, little guy. And I'm not gonna blow compressed air back in there or anything, because if you look at how this is made, the center of that, if you can see that, is the air intake. And we don't have dirt up in there. That was clean. But on this outside area, we're gonna just kind of use our hands and break that dust loose and pull it out of there. Give ourselves as clean as we can. But the air intake hole is clean, and that's the main part. All right, here's the new one. Slide her back in there. In case anybody wants to have a little internet war, I thought this was interesting. My air filter I ordered for my Kubota BX23S, which I ordered it from Amazon, but it says air filter for NAP John Deere M113621. So it's probably going to contaminate my orange tractor running green parts. So, and there's how you change an air filter with one hand. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is flush the coolant system. I say flush the coolant system, basically we're gonna drain it and fill it back up. But on the My Kubota app, they call it flushing the coolant system. So you'll need a 17mm wrench and a 10mm socket on a small ratchet. And I'll show you what we gotta do. That drain plug right there with the little paint on it, that's a 17mm, and that's your drain for your coolant system. It's over here on the left side of the engine. We're gonna drain that, and then we're going to take this coolant tank loose from the firewall there, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually just a fan shroud, I think. We'll take the 3 bolts out of that and drain what's left in that overflow tank, and then we'll put it all back together and we'll fill it up with coolant. Oh, she's snug. Ouch. I just ripped the knuckle on that right there. Harbor Freight ratchet wrenches for the win. I'm not going to open the cap yet because I don't want it to spray out past our tub. There's a little O-ring there. It makes it kind of a little tight. Maybe I can get it tight without tearing my knuckle back open. Got your little paint mark there. Line her back up. All right, we got her drained. Here's the deal. Kubota says take this coolant tank off of here and dump out the excess fluid. Now, that might be great if you could get to the bottom bolt back in there to take it off, but I can't get my hands back in there. There's no access from the bottom. I don't know how they expect you to do that. So we've come up with another way here to get that coolant out. If you look down in here, you got your vent line here at the bottom. We took that vent line off to open it up so that we can access this. We're gonna try to seal this off and just drain her out. And she's empty. So, what would have taken no less than an hour of struggling and more blood, sweat, and tears to try and get that tank off of there, we did in 2 seconds with an air compressor and an air gun. Hopefully this trick will help you guys out when you go to flush your coolant. Shout out to my son Cameron for coming up with the air compressor idea. We were trying to brainstorm a way to blow that coolant out the bottom, and that was his thought. So Worked out great. Put our hose back on here. And we're good. Hose is back on. We are ready to fill her back up. All right, so I pulled up my Kubota app here, and it tells me that the BX1880 uses 3.1 quarts of coolant, and the 2380 and the 23S use 3.3 quarts. All right, so I went by my trusty Walmart, and I picked up a gallon of Prestone concentrate on clearance. So we are going to mix it 50-50. I'm gonna say that's about 50-50. You think? Now, I'm gonna guess they don't recommend mixing your antifreeze in a simply lemonade container because I'll be honest, it looks kind of appetizing. So we're gonna make sure we use all this and throw the container away when we're done. Cameron said it looks like drinkable highlighter. I kind of agree. All right, so we got our plug back in. Tank here. Hydraulic fluid while we're waiting. Super UDT2. She's a little low. Need a good long stem funnel. There she is. We're going to shut it off and check it with it turned off to make sure that it doesn't affect it, because that's something I don't know whether it makes any difference or not. Well, the temperature's coming up. We should be good. Since the temperature's starting to come up, should be good on that. Check it with it shut off, see if that affects the level any. Yeah, it's just a tad over now. It'll be fine. All right, let's check. Got our coolant topped off. We're all set there. So let's check our front axle. And this front axle, they run that Super UDT2 in it from the factory, but I am not a fan of how thin that stuff is. So I'm putting gear oil in mine, and I changed this not too long ago to the gear oil. So we're right where we need to be. We don't need any in that. So, all right, we changed our oil, we flushed out the cooling system, put a new air filter on it, checked our axle fluid and our hydraulic fluid, got everything set where it's supposed to be. We are just about out of time, so we're gonna call it a day. Appreciate y'all watching, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot, bye-bye.